and welcome to Season 4, Episode 24 of Pro Wrestling's Top 50. I'm your host, Travis McNeil, and today we continue our countdown of the top 50 matches in Lucha Underground history with match number 27 on our list, which is a three-way match between Pentagon Jr., Fenix, and Drago from the November 12th, 2014 edition of Lucha Underground titled Cross the Border. This was the third episode of Lucha Underground, so it was fitting that there would be a three-way match. And when all was said and done, whether we knew it at the time or not, I feel like this was maybe the most important match in Lucha Underground history. So not only is it a great match in its own right, it has that historical impact. When Lucha Underground started, I personally, I've talked about this before, was a little apprehensive, after seeing how, WSX eventually went down, Lucha Libre USA went down, and the Wrestling Revolution project had not come to fruition. So, I didn't have high hopes for Lucha Underground, and I watched the first two episodes. Yes, Johnny Mundo and Prince Puma put on a good match in the main event of episode 1, but really the show wasn't working for me much. This match, though, injected the energy that the show really sorely needed. And although I find that the show wouldn't really hit its, come into full swing until the first Aztec Warfare match, this was the match that made me go, okay, maybe it's worth sticking around for. So this was the US debut of all three of these wrestlers. These three guys would really become, with Prince Puma, although he had already been established as Ricochet, right? If you follow the independents, you know who Ricochet is. He had that name value to him. But it was really these three that were, self-made stars by Lucha Underground. Yes, they were in AAA in Mexico, but if you were a North American fan, or I should say a US, or in my case, Canadian fan, that didn't follow Lucha Libre very closely, this was probably your first time seeing these guys. And, like I said, these three guys, they really put Lucha Underground on the map. They would be the stars that would travel, and I talked about this, with Pentagon and Fenix specifically, that, they would take that Lucha Underground flag to, promotions like Pro Wrestling Guerrilla in the 2015 Battle of Los Angeles, promotions like AAW, promotions like Chikara for King of Trios, and really, drum up that interest in Lucha Underground. And, when Lucha Underground unfortunately went away, it was Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr., who were the carryover stars, and, we saw them in MLW and TNA or Impact Wrestling as well, and, now in AEW, where they're the current AEW Tag Team Champions, right? So, I've said it before that, Lucha Underground gave us a fun ride for 4 seasons, but ultimately its greatest gift to us was Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo. And this is the match that started it all. This match is short, it's compact, it is move after move after move, so your mileage may vary depending on what you look for in wrestling, but I find that stuff so exciting when it's done right, and here it really was, because this was a showcase for these three guys to put them on American national television and say, look at these guys that we are importing from Mexico for our program that are going to blow you away. In many ways, it felt like when WCW, first brought in the cruiserweights in 1996, or it felt like, ECW bringing in Rey Mysterio Jr. and Psychosis, at Gangster's Paradise in 1995. Just super fresh guys coming in, cold, unknown, and by the end of the match, leaving you wanting so much more. This match goes a mile a minute. They start right at the bell by throwing super kicks at each other. We get a dive sequence right out of the gates with Pentagon hitting a tope con hilo. Phoenix launching Aerostar up into a tornado to the floor. Phoenix hitting a big twisting plancha from the top rope to the floor. And everybody is showcased here, right? So again, it's, it's spot, spot, spot. A guy would do a big move, roll out, rinse and repeat with a guy doing another big move. And they did that for a while, but they hit some really cool stuff. Pentagon and Fenix were doing this spot in kind of their traveling matches where Pentagon would launch Fenix into the, up into the air, almost like a back body drop, but Fenix would come around and hit a Hurricane Rana out of it. So they do that here, and it was awesome. And the first time, a lot of us probably saw them do that spot. Drago hits, the flipping DDT, right? The Canadian Destroyer DDT. The Essex Destroyer, if you're a Will Ospreay fan, whatever you want to call it. But again, that was a move that, you really hadn't seen many places at that point. So he hits that. Pentagon hits the Pentagon driver, which was, Matt Seidel's Here It Is driver, which again, was a little bit of a forgotten about move because Matt Seidel went to the WWE, couldn't use that move. Shingo would hit it, made in Japan, but again, if you didn't follow, Japanese wrestling very closely, again, it was a big move you've maybe not seen before. They do a lot of like really cool three-way spots too, involving all three of them. And the big spot we get here, something that, we would see a lot throughout Lucha Underground history, but this was the OG, it was the original. Fenix hits a big dive off of Dario Cueto's office, which was the cherry on top of this match. Our finish comes not soon after, or not long after, I should say, where Pentagon hits the package pile driver on Drago, rolls him back into the Thunderfire pile driver from Fenix, completely taking Drago out of that match, hitting, getting both guys finishing moves in succession. But then Fenix hits a really quick flash reverse Rana on Pentagon, and it's enough to put him down for 3. And, we would ultimately see those two rematch a couple of weeks later. And, Fenix and Pentagon, despite being real life brothers, despite coming out of Lucha Underground together, we really didn't see them compete too many times against each other on Lucha Underground, but we will talk about their history together another day. This match, though, it is super fun. You can watch it for free on Lucha Underground's YouTube. Well worth checking out. And like I said, not only is the match a lot of fun, but the historical impact that it would overall have, and being one, the match that sort of maybe started to put Lucha Underground on the map, and two, being the match that absolutely put these three competitors, specifically Fenix and Pentagon Jr., on the map. And I'm so thankful that Lucha Underground brought these guys in because, they're some of my favorite wrestlers, Ray Fenix especially. I thank Lucha Underground for doing that for me. You can find this match, though, like I said, online. You can find Lucha Underground. If you have the Tubi app, depending on where you live, it might be available that way, or you can find it with a quick Google search. You can subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so that you don't miss a video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling50, and please join me again tomorrow as we continue to count down Pro Wrestling's Top 50. Top 50.